The kids clubs on board the Disney Cruise Line are unlike anything you'll find anywhere else. In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about how the clubs work, the different age groups, what to expect, safety protocols, and some important changes to be aware of, especially if you're sailing on the Disney Dream or the Disney Fantasy. If you're new around here, hi, my name's Rhiannon Morgan. Everyone calls me Rhi. Welcome to the channel where you find all things Disney Cruise Line, Disney parks, plus magical adventures beyond Disney too, with bonus tips if, like me, you have children with autism. Now, I've never been a huge fan of kids clubs in holiday destinations, but honestly, the kids clubs on board the Disney Cruise Line are so magical. Whenever we've cruised with Disney, they've been some of my children's favorite experiences. I've always felt so confident in the safety protocols that they have inside of the clubs, and I will explain all of that to you now. There are 4 kids clubs on board the Disney Cruise Line. It's a Small World Nursery for cruisers aged 6 months up to age 3, the Oceaneer Club for guests aged 3 to 10, Edge Tweens Club for guests age 11 to 14, and for cruisers age 14 to 17, we have Vibe. Now, with the Disney Fantasy coming to the UK in 2025 and the Disney Dream returning to the UK in 2026, we are going to focus a little more on those ships, although most of the information I'm sharing today will apply to ships across the Disney Cruise Line fleet. So starting with It's a Small World Nursery. Now, It's a Small World Nursery is quite different to the rest of the clubs on board the Disney Cruise Line in that your child has to be booked in for a specific session, and It's a Small World Nursery is actually an upcharge, with the other clubs being drop in and out as you wish and included in your cruise fare. It's a Small World Nursery has soft play, toys, quiet sleep areas and trained counsellors that will take care of your babies and toddlers while you explore areas of the ship, such as the adult-only areas. We didn't actually start cruising with Disney until my children were over 3, so we've never used It's a Small World Nursery, but do let me know in the comments if you've ever used It's a Small World Nursery yourself and what your experience has been. It's a Small World Nursery is all Disney themed, of course, and you will be expected to drop off everything your child will need during their visit, including items for feeding and changing. As with all of the clubs, if there is any issue with your child while they are inside It's a Small World Nursery, you will be contacted and notified using the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. We'll go into checking in and booking your children into the clubs later in the video. From age 3 up to age 10, your children can explore the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneers Lab. On the Dream and the Fantasy, which are sister ships, these clubs can be found on Deck 5, and although you'll check your child into one or the other, they can safely and freely move between the clubs when both are open for the children. During certain hours on board the ship, there will be open houses for guests to explore all 4 of the clubs, even if they are not the right age to attend. And this is a great opportunity to have a look around in all the amazing themed areas, but also to take your children into the club before they get dropped off and go in there by themselves so they can look around with you, familiarise themselves, and also you'll be confident knowing where they'll be. Sometimes there'll be an open house in, say, the Oceaneers Lab, so the children will only be kept in the club area or vice versa. But when there are no open houses, the children can move freely between the clubs. They cannot get out without you picking them up. It's all super safe. And like I said, we'll talk about that a little later on in the video with the pick up and drop off protocols along with the safety measures. Themed areas in the Oceaneers Club and Lab include Star Wars, Toy Story, Marvel, Disney Princess areas, and the theming will vary from ship to ship. Activities include experiments, crafts, drawing, and often characters will pop up for surprise visits. If you check your Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, you'll see when there are specific events going on in the club, such as a dance party or a quiz that your children may wish to attend, and you may want to plan your days around when your children want to be in the kids club based on the activities in the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. A really good way to plan out your days, by the way, while you're on the ship is using my magical cruise planner. The adult version has all of the important stuff us grown-ups need to know about picking the ship, when payments are due, picking hotels the night before, online check-in. And during the online check-in process, you will need to do some things for the kids club. We'll talk about that in a bit. But all of that, plus outfit planning, packing, and day-by-day planning can be found inside of your Magical Cruise Planner. There's even a kids version with all of the boring adult booking bits taken out and just all of the fun stuff left in about planning out your days and which characters you want to see when and when you want to go to the Oceaneers Club, plus loads of activities and spaces to draw your favourite characters so that they can sign your artwork, and the whole thing doubles up as an amazing autograph book. You can grab either the adults version or the kids version, or even a super family bundle using the link below. But I'd highly recommend when you get on board and you look on the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, going through it with your kiddos and seeing which times there are specific activities that they're going to want to do inside of the Oceaneer Club. I know there was a specific dance party where the girls met Olaf once. Will once did some Star Wars craft thing where he made a Millennium Falcon. That was loads of fun. So you want to check the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. Plot these things that they just don't want to miss inside of your magical cruise planner. Then you can fit other activities that don't have time constraints, such as the pool, in and around these activities your kids really want to do in the Oceaneers Club, or any of the other clubs for that matter. When your children get to age 11, then they will be welcomed into Edge from ages 11 to 14. This is a casual hangout space with video games, photo booths, as well as guided activities. They did change the age ranges for the club just before we sailed on the Wish. We very specifically booked the Disney Wish because Will really wanted to do the roller coaster design experience inside of the Oceaneer Club. At the time, you could use the Oceaneer Club up to age 12. Just before we sailed on the Wish, they did change it to the cutoff of the Oceaneer Club being age 10, and then children age 11 to 14 could go to Edge. Whereas previously there were these overlap ages where children age 11 and 12 could pick if they wanted to do the Oceaneer or Edge. Now, all was well. Will managed to get plenty of the roller coaster design experience done on the Wish during the open house. So we didn't actually need to travel at that particular time, but no regrets. We got to stay on the Disney Wish. But it is worth keeping this information front of mind because there may still be some information you're reading out on the internet with the old ranges still listed there. It's really important to know now that age 10 is the cutoff, and as soon as your child turns 11, it will be Edge only they'll be able to go to. They won't be able to go to the Oceaneer during the Kids Club hours anymore. During the open house, anyone can go regardless of the age, but for the Kids Club hours, it will be Edge only from ages 11 to 14. When we sailed on the Disney Dream, Edge was up in the funnel. Absolutely beautiful space. It has since been moved. During the dry dock, the funnel has been reimagined as an amazing suite, which I'm sure will be very gorgeous to stay in. But Edge has been moved down to the space which did used to just hold Vibe, which we'll talk about in a second, for guests age 14 to 17. But sadly, Edge, as it was rather glorious in the funnel, is no longer like that on the Dream. Let me know if you've sailed on the Dream since the dry dock, and if your children have tried the new space of Edge and what they thought of it. Now, Edge on the Fantasy at the time of filming is still, because they're sister ships, up in the funnel where it used to be on the Dream. Now, I'm not aware of actual specific plans for the Fantasy, but it is my understanding that during the dry dock, which will be after the summer 2025 season, because I know a number of sailings have been cancelled later in the year so that the Fantasy can go to dry dock, but during that dry dock, it is my understanding that Edge will be moved from the funnel and will be splitting the space with Vibe, the same way it currently is on the Dream. Now, this will make way for an amazing suite in the funnel, which would be absolutely gorgeous to stay in. And if you've got kids in both Vibe and Edge, then they'll be next to each other. Moving on to Vibe 14s, age 14 to 17. Vibe is a teen lounge with smoothies, foosball, music, movies, and events where teens can come and go freely to socialise with each other and with club counsellors. Our eldest went to Vibe when we sailed on the Magic back in 2021, but other than that, we have only been to Vibe during open houses. Vibe on the Magic was up in the funnel, and Vibe on the Dream, Will, our now 13-year-old, was very excited to go to when he's old enough because it has that amazing outdoor pool. Now, it is my understanding that Edge has been moved down to that space to share with Vibe, so I don't know if Edge now has access to that pool as well, maybe on rotation with Vibe. That I can neither confirm nor deny, but I know that Vibe does have access to that pool and it looks absolutely gorgeous. What an amazing place to hang out. I'm so jealous of those 14 and 17-year-olds. Now on to some housekeeping, some essential things you're going to need to know about the Kids Clubs for online check-in, some safety information and tips, plus some things I love about the Kids Club and one thing I really don't. During your online check-in, which you'll know all about if you've watched my online check-in with me for Disney Cruise Line vlogs, I will link the playlist below and I literally take you through step by step, screen by screen, everything you're going to need to do, plus loads and loads of tips. So I'm not going to go into it in too much detail now, but I would definitely recommend you watch those before your online check-in. But in brief, you're going to need your JPEG photos of each member of your party that you're sailing with, regardless if they're going to the Kids Club or not. But when you go to the Kids Club to pick up your kids, your child's picture and the picture of the adult who is allowed to pick them up will be showing on the screen. And only the adults that you say are allowed to pick them up during the online check-in process will be allowed to pick them up from the kids club. So if you're traveling with a number of people, have a real think about who you do and do not want to give permission to pick up your children. On top of this, for an added level of security, there will be a password that you need to pick and keep secret within your family. And on top of being the allowed person, you will also need that password in order to collect your child, or they will not hand over your child. When your child is checked in on the ship, then they will be issued a magic band that they will use for the duration of their sailing. And as long as you return it before the end of the sailing, you will not be charged for it. If you do choose to keep it, then that will be added to your bill. This will be used to scan them in and out of the kids club, so Disney Cruise Line can know exactly who they're taking care of at any given time and make sure all children are safe. If your children have Magic Band Plus, which are now a thing across the Disney Cruise Line fleet, which are great for things like unlocking your stateroom, paying for things if you're older. I mean, you can add charging privileges to your children's accounts. I wouldn't recommend it if I were you, but it is something you can do. And you can also use these for getting on and off the ship at port adventures. They also light up with things like the fireworks and synchronize, and it's just a whole load of fun. Especially handy for adults, obviously, if you're paying for things. We already had ours from when we bought them in the parks because we were using them to scan in and out of attractions because we were using DAS in Walt Disney World. So because we'd already bought the Disney Plan Plus for that, they also work as Disney Band Plus on the ships. So would we have bought them if we were just sailing with Disney? I don't know. They are fun, but they're more essential for children in the parks than they are on the ship because they will issue with a completely free Magic Band. It is a Magic Band, not a Magic Band Plus on the ships, in that if your child is issued with a Magic Band, you won't be able to do anything else with it, like open doors, it won't light up with the fireworks. It will just be used to scan in and out of the Oceaneer Club, and you do need to remember to return it at the end of your cruise if you don't want to be charged for it. When your child is signed in to the kids club, they will add a little Magic Band lock onto their wristband that will need to be cut off before they can remove the band. So this will be cut off for them either when you pick them up from the kids club, or you can cut it off later on. I mean, honestly, we sometimes leave them on for a while anyway, just so that Magic Bands don't fall off around the ship. But it's really good to know that your child can't remove the Magic Band themselves, and therefore they are easily identifiable within the kids club. There are different coloured locks that are put on a child's Magic Band to show whether they have allergies or not, and that way the kids club counsellors can see at a glance which children have allergies and need an extra close eye kept on them. And before we continue talking about all the magic inside of the kids club on board the Disney Cruise Line, I've just got to take a second to tell you all about my Magical Adventures Club. This is the place to hang out with fellow Disney and travel loving families, get loads of tips, bonus printables to help you organise your trips to Disney and beyond, as well as having an amazing community of people and getting to hang out together a little bit more too. Head to mummyof4.com/join to hang out with me there. There is even a forever free tier to get you started. I can't wait to hang out with you inside of the Magical Adventures Club. Now back to the Disney Kids Clubs. Any additional information you feel the Kids Club is going to need to know in order to care for your child, such as allergy information or whether they have autism, for example, this can all be submitted during the online check-in process, but they're all so friendly. And we'll all be more than happy to talk to you and your children when you drop them off and pick them up about any needs or concerns you may have. Everyone who enters the Oceaneer Club will be required to wash their hands, either by using an antibacterial sanitizing wipe or one of their really cool hand washing machines. And I'm pretty sure if they had those, more places, more children would be remembering to wash their hands. I definitely recommend taking some sort of folder with you on your cruise because your children are going to come out of the Oceaneer Club with so many amazing different drawings and pieces of craft that you're going to want to take home and treasure, or maybe stick into a scrapbook or pop in a memory box. I was honestly not sure if my children would want to go to the kids' clubs before we cruised, whether they'd enjoy it. And I was just quite happy to keep them with me, if I'm honest. I was quite happy to just enjoy all the magic all together. But honestly, the kids' clubs are so amazing. I think that they would be really irritated with me if I didn't let them go into the kids' clubs to enjoy those. There are so many things I love about the kids' clubs. I love the system they have in the Oceaneer Club to check the children in. It feels so safe and secure. I love the fact that, and I didn't find this out till we sailed on the Wish, if any child is lost on the ship, they'll be taken immediately to the Oceaneer Clubs. They will never stop a child from checking themselves in, because once that child is checked in, they are safe. Any lost children taken to the Oceaneer Club, they are safe. They can scan the child's Magic Band or Magic Band Plus, identify who the child is, and contact their parents through the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. It's a brilliant system. My only thing that I don't love so much is that for Edge, as in children from age 11, are technically allowed to check themselves in and out of the clubs themselves. There is no way of having a definite drop-off pickup system like they do in the Oceaneer Club. And for me, I'm not sure every 11-year-old is ready for that responsibility. That's the only thing that I'm not loving so much since they changed the age. I mean, you can still have an arrangement that you physically take your child to the club and you ask them to wait there until you pick them up. You can give them a phone or device that is on the ship's Wi-Fi, and then you can message them using the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. So there are still ways that you can get around this, and that's what we ended up doing when Will turned 11. But that's the only thing that I'm not absolutely super loving about the kids clubs, if I'm honest. But with all that being said, they are just the most magical experiences. The venues themselves are stunning. The club counsellors that have taken care of the children have been the most wonderful people. We've always enjoyed taking pixie dust to gift to them to say thank you, because the children have always been really, really fond of them and made some real, Disney counsellor friends when they've been in the clubs. And they've made other Disney friends. It's been a nice way for them to socialise with kids their own age. And it's been a nice way for myself and my husband to explore some of the adult-only areas too. Now, if you want to know all about the adult-only areas, the things you can get up to without kids, if your kids want to go to the kids club, which I'm guessing they will, then click on the video on screen now where I share everything you need to know about the adult-only areas on board the Disney Cruise Line, or hang out with me some more inside of my Magical Adventures Club, the place for Disney and travel loving families, plus early release videos and loads more bonuses. I'll see you over there. Bye.